Welcome to Dark Side of History channel, where the untold stories of the past come to life. So don't forget to subscribe and uncover the mysteries with us.
Pre-AutoCAD hand-drawn engineering design. Engineers and architects created technical designs using hand tools and drafting equipment in 1982, before computer-aided design software revolutionized their profession. These skilled professionals spent hours creating precise drawings by hand, using rulers, compasses, and technical pens. The hand-drawn engineering represented the craftsmanship and precision required before computers made design work faster and easier. Pentagon Flower Power anti-war protest. A demonstrator offered a flower to military police during the October 21, 1967 anti-war protest at the Pentagon. This peaceful gesture symbolized the hippie movement's belief that love and nonviolence could overcome military force and stop the Vietnam War. The Flower Power protest represented the generational conflict between young peace activists and government authority during the 1960s. Ellis Island Immigrant Christmas Celebration. An immigrant group celebrated their first American Christmas dinner at the New York Reception Center on Ellis Island in 1920. This holiday meal represented hope and new beginnings for families who had left their homeland to start fresh lives in America. The Christmas celebration showed how immigrants maintained their traditions while adapting to American culture and customs. Ramsgate Fishermen Winter Knitting Skills. Two men crafted winter wool garments by knitting in Ramsgate, Kent, England during the 1940s. These skilled fishermen used traditional handicraft techniques to create warm clothing needed for their dangerous work at sea. The knitting fishermen represented how working people maintained practical skills and self-sufficiency during wartime when manufactured goods were scarce. Oppenheimer Athens Historical Tourism. Nuclear scientist J. Robert Oppenheimer toured the Greek Acropolis and Parthenon historic structures in Athens in 1958. This visit by the father of the atomic bomb to ancient Greek civilization created an interesting contrast between modern nuclear science and classical antiquity. The Athens visit represented how even the creators of modern weapons could appreciate ancient culture and civilization. Howard University Historic Law Graduation. A graduating class from the historically black Howard University Law School in Washington, D.C. celebrated their achievement in 1900. This institution had been founded in 1867 to provide higher education opportunities for African Americans after the Civil War ended slavery. The law graduation represented how education provided pathways to professional success despite racial discrimination and segregation. Futuro House Futuristic Architecture Transport. A Finnish architect's futuristic oval-shaped Futuro house was moved through a Yorkshire, England town in 1971. This space-age dwelling represented experimental architecture that tried to imagine how people might live in the future with modern materials and design. The house transport showed how innovative architects created radical new concepts for residential living that challenged traditional building methods. Chevrolet Vega Vertical Car Transportation. Chevrolet Vega cars were carried upright on specially designed train cars in 1971 to optimize space and reduce transportation costs. This innovative shipping method allowed more vehicles to be transported on each railroad car by standing them vertically instead of horizontally. The vertical transport represented how automotive manufacturers developed creative solutions to reduce costs and improve efficiency. Toffs and Tufts British Class Photography. Jimmy Seam's iconic photograph from 1937 symbolized British social class differences between wealthy and poor people before World War II. This powerful image showed well-dressed upper-class boys next to working-class children, highlighting the inequality that existed in British society. The class photograph represented how social divisions were visible and documented through photography during the pre-war period. American Airlines Stewardess Elegant Uniforms. Flight attendants wore elegant uniforms in a 1967 American Airlines campaign that highlighted commercial aviation style standards and service excellence. These fashionable uniforms represented the glamorous image that airlines promoted when air travel was still exclusive and sophisticated. The stewardess campaign showed how airlines used fashion and beauty to market their services to wealthy passengers. Rhodesia political transition t-shirt message. A woman wore an "I'm staying" t-shirt reflecting the political atmosphere during Zimbabwe's transition period from 1979 to 1980. This message showed how white residents responded to the end of minority rule and the establishment of black majority government. The political t-shirt represented the complex emotions and decisions that people faced during major political changes in Southern Africa. Mercedes W125 record-breaking racing car. Mercedes W125 record-breaking racing vehicle was displayed at the Germany Pavilion during the Paris World's Fair in 1937. This advanced race car demonstrated German engineering excellence and automotive technology during the period leading up to World War II. The racing car display represented how countries used international exhibitions to showcase their technological achievements and national pride. Lana Wood cheetah entertainment photography. Actress Lana Wood was photographed with a wild cheetah in 1969, combining entertainment glamour with the era's lifestyle elements of exotic animals. This dangerous photo shoot showed how Hollywood celebrities used unusual and risky situations to create publicity and maintain their public image. The cheetah photography represented the sometimes reckless pursuit of fame and attention in the entertainment industry. Jimmy Carter Naval Academy family graduation. Future President Jimmy Carter posed with his fiancée Rosalind Smith and his mother at his Naval Academy graduation ceremony on June 5, 1946. This family moment captured Carter before he became a peanut farmer, governor of Georgia, and eventually President of the United States. The graduation ceremony represented the beginning of Carter's career in public service that would eventually lead him to the White House. Gallipoli Australian camouflage soldier. Australian troops included a man wearing vegetation-designed camouflage during the Gallipoli campaign on the Turkish peninsula in 1916. This innovative soldier used natural materials to blend into the landscape and avoid detection by enemy forces during World War I trench warfare. The camouflage soldier represented early military attempts to use environmental concealment for battlefield survival. Mexican Revolutionary Woman train departure. A military uniformed woman boarded a train during Mexico's revolutionary period in 1914. This female revolutionary participated in the armed struggle that transformed Mexican society and government during the early 20th century. The uniformed woman represented how social revolutions could change traditional gender roles and allow women to participate in military activities. Naples traditional tambourine street vendor. A street musician sold traditional tambourines to Italian city residents and visitors in Naples during the early 1900s. This cultural entrepreneur maintained traditional music-making crafts while earning his living from tourists and local customers. The tambourine vendor represented how street musicians preserved cultural traditions while adapting to urban commercial opportunities. Portland Giant Log Cabin World Record. Children posed at the world's largest log structure in Portland in 1938, which had been built for the 1905 Lewis and Clark exhibition. This massive wooden building demonstrated the abundant timber resources of the Pacific Northwest and the craftsmanship of early 20th century builders. The giant log cabin represented American ambition to create record-breaking structures that would attract tourists and promote regional development. Central Park urban skateboarding innovation. New York youth engaged in emerging skateboarding activities in Central Park during the 1960s. These young pioneers developed skateboarding techniques and culture in city environments where traditional sports were difficult to practice. The park skateboarding represented how urban youth created new forms of recreation and self-expression using available public spaces. Beijing Summer Palace Student Adventure. A university group climbed into a large decorative jar at the famous Chinese garden complex of the Summer Palace in 1946. This playful moment showed young people enjoying themselves at one of China's most beautiful and historical cultural sites. The student adventure represented how young people found ways to have fun and create memories even in the most formal and traditional settings. Punt gun, large-bore waterfowl hunting. A man posed with a large-bore punt gun that was used for duck hunting before modern hunting regulations limited such powerful weapons. These enormous firearms could kill dozens of waterfowl with a single shot and were used by commercial hunters before conservation laws protected wildlife. The punt gun represented the era of unrestricted hunting that nearly destroyed many bird species before protective regulations were established. Australian lumberjack improvised grooming. World War II workers in Australia used axes as makeshift